Okay, so this guy, so what we're going to do with him, so since I don't know him, he may have not very good vision. So this is good. He's going to go away from me, and that's okay. So see how I'm going to go in backwards now? We could have used you as demo dog all along. I thought maybe he was really friendly. Okay, so I'm going to go backwards because he was scared of me and he walked away. So what I'm going to do right now is back up to him, and he's going to go to his bed, which is totally cool. He can sit down there. And then what I'm going to do is, I don't want him to go outside that door, and I caught him, okay? So that's, you just want to basically, it's just like at the rodeo when you rope a calf. That's the same kind of thing. Okay. So,
he looks like a very
so we know that he bites, so we're going to deal with that first. So what I'm going to show you is how do you vaccinate a dog like this, okay? So, and it's going to look crazy, but trust me, we've been doing it in veterinary practice for 50 years. So, because we get dogs that bite all the time, right? We get dogs in every day that try to bite us. So now typically we do this with a bigger dog, not such a small one, but I'm going to show with him just so that you can see. So what we would do is we want to get, let's say, to the dog's back end to vaccinate him. We want to stay far away from the biting end, right? So what we're going to do is we'll take him to a door. Now you do need 2 people to do this. Okay, we're going to bring this guy over here. And we need a door like this.
You should be up front.
So you need a door like this. And Ellie, if you want to go on that side of the door,
go in front of me because you need to watch.
I'm going to pass you this leash. Okay, so we call this the sandwich. Okay, so what we do is Ellie's going to pull this really tight so this dog's nose is right in the corner and Ellie's not going to let go. And now I have his bum to do whatever I want with. His bum is back here, I can vaccinate him. He can't bite me because Ellie has him pulled that way. His nose is shoved in a corner, he cannot get out. Okay, so now I can take his back end, I can vaccinate him, do whatever I want. Okay?
That's a good idea.
So that way nobody gets bit. Okay. So,
into this door, guys.
Thanks for the demo.
well, I purposely didn't squish them. normally we squish them quite hard because we don't want them to
be
get
bucking.
back. Okay. So now what I'm going to show you now is so this. I don't have a little.
I'm scared.
We don't have a little table to put them on, right? Okay, we don't have a table. We're just going to pretend. Actually, a crate. Do you want to get just like any crate down, just so I can sort of pretend it's a table, and then I'll show you what we can do with that. Perfect. Okay, so now let's see with this little guy. I want to examine him. Let's say, okay, and I want to pick him up and put him on there, but I'm worried he's going to bite me. Okay. So what's going to happen is, I'm going to explain what I'm going to do first, because when I do actually do it, it's going to be very fast. So I want to tell you what I'm doing before I do the actual thing. So when I have his head like this, I have the ability to stretch this head whatever direction I want it to go. Okay, if I want the biting end over here, I can make the biting end go there. I can make it go this way. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to keep this dog's head in my left hand, and what I'm going to do, I want him on that table. But if I go to pick him up and scoop him under his abdomen, he can reach around and get me. He can reach around and bite my hand, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold his head, and when I say hold, with tension, I'm going to pull his head that way. I'm going to put my hand flat underneath his abdomen, and in one fast swoop, he's going to be on that table. Okay?
That works for little dogs. Does that work for big dogs?
Big dogs do. Oh yeah, I've done it with like big German Shepherds even. Yeah. Because the great thing is, because think of it this way, as if it's tug of war. Okay, we're almost playing tug of war. I want the front end going that way, and I'm tugging the back end that way. The two ends can never meet. Okay? Because I don't want the biting end to ever meet my hand at all. So if I'm going to pick this guy up, and I'm not going to choke him because I'm going to do this with him. Okay? And he's on the table, just like that. So, and the reason he couldn't bite me was because I had his head, okay? And I have tension on this leash, okay? So, you do have cataracts. You can't see very good, can you? So, so I have, and you notice I didn't hurt him. He didn't scream. It was all over before I knew what happened. But in doing that, in picking him up by the neck and underneath, see, he has the ability to bite there, right? And which is why I'm not touching him right now. So when you pick them up that way and underneath, and you got to do it fast. You can't, you know, take your time and put your hand under, because then he's like, whoa, what are you doing back there? It's got to be kind of element of surprise. So pat him by the head, pick my hand up, and throw him on. That's why it's all done in one fast motion, okay? So now I want to examine this dog, but I know that he's terrified. And if I were you guys, I can tell you already, I would euthanize this dog. I wouldn't even think about, I'm going to examine him, see what's wrong with him, but I wouldn't even think about adopting him out to anybody for several reasons. One is he's clearly quite old. His eyesight is not good at all. He's got quite bad cataracts. He's a bit of a spook, which is why he bites. I don't know because I haven't looked at him yet. Put my hands on him. He could have some pain, but the fact that he's a spook and the owners who get him have to do something with him, they might get bit, right? So because this guy goes to biting very quickly just because he doesn't know what's going on. And he's probably been someone's dog for very many years, so it's difficult for these dogs to sometimes go into a new home. So I'm going to see what he thinks of if I'm just going to go back here and touch him. And he's okay with this. He's shaking, very afraid. You're okay, buddy. Yeah, you're okay. So if I want to check him now, let's say I want to check and see if he has testicles. So this is going to take two people, unless you guys have a muzzle. Do you have a muzzle here? No. No? Okay. So I would get some muzzles, what I definitely would do. I would get those plastic cage muzzles, get one in every size, because you will get all different sizes of dogs here. He has poor eyesight, which makes him a poor candidate to fit into a new environment, because he cannot see well. I can tell you already, this dog does not see very well. You're okay, buddy. You're okay. You're okay. So what I would do, if I had a muzzle, which I don't have one, I would put that on him right now. Do you have like, actually, if you want to hold him for a second, or just hold the leash, don't have to touch him, but just gonna see if there's something I can use as a makeshift muzzle here.
Yeah, we used to have one big muzzle. Do you know where it got to?
There's
Cage one.
Like
Oh, okay.
Like a soft, like a shoelace or something. Or this might probably not right here. We're just going to do a makeshift muzzle here, and I'll show you guys how to do that too. This typically works better if you have like a big, thick, a really thick, soft shoelace. That would be better. I don't have one. We're just going to use this. But we're going to pretend this is a big, thick shoelace, okay? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to tie his nose. I'm doing this tight, okay? Nothing worse than a dog having a loose muzzle, because it'll come off and you'll get bit. Okay, now I'm going down around underneath, and I'm tying this behind his head, okay? This dog right now cannot bite me. Can't do a thing. His mouth is tied shut. That is how it's done, that easy, okay? So now I can check him to see if he has any testicles, because I want to know, let's say I want to know more about this dog. Okay, this is he is neutered, so we know that. The fact that he's panicking because I'm touching him, and that's why I say he's not a good candidate to adopt to anybody, because whoever gets this dog is going to want to touch it, right? This dog is very touch sensitive, and I'm not doing anything to him. I think he maybe has not been handled a lot in his life. And I'm not worried about anything, because as I said, his mouth is tied shut. He can't do a thing. Can't do a thing. Okay, so he is neutered, so someone spent money on him, which is weird. You know what? If you want to hold him here, lead this way underneath, and just kind of, he can't bite you. He'll freak out a bit and do that, but I just want to see if he is sore. Oh, I know. Not
Don't scratch my head.
Yeah, they can do damage with their claws. You're okay. You're okay. I'm not even doing anything yet. You're peeing. See, it's tough to say if this dog has pain anywhere, because